Now let's go to a speed comparison between both phones. The iPhone SE2 has that Apple A13 Bionic chip inside of it with 3 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 12 Pro Max has that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 6 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go and see which one is the faster phone between both of these. Okay, now that we're back, let me go and clear all the apps in the background, and I think they're already cleared. Perfect. Let's go and do phone calls. 3, 2, 1. And very instantaneous on both. I don't think one was way faster than the other one. Let's do App Store. 3, 2, 1. And the SE2 was a little bit behind, but it was actually still very, very surprising how both, were kind of around the same. Let's just go into this one. And yeah, I was actually pretty surprised by how well the SE2 was able to go for there. Now let's go and do these third-party apps that I always get into. Let's do Fruit Ninja. 3, 2, 1. And you can even see to get into the half brick logo, it was faster on the 12 Pro Max, especially noticeable when you get into that specific panel. The SE2 was a little bit slower for sure. And you can see the iPhone 12 Pro Max is fully loaded. The SE2 may get into like this age little panel, so it's not really that big of a difference, but I don't really know what's going on here. It's probably a glitch, but the 12 Pro Max was definitely faster there. Facebook 3, 2, 1. Again, 12 Pro Max is faster, SE2 a little bit behind. Twitter 3, 2, 1. SE2 was slower. iPhone 12 Pro Max was ahead right there. Let's do Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. Again, 12 Pro Max is faster. iPhone SE2 a little bit behind. Paper IO 2, 3, 2, 1. The 12 Pro Max was faster. iPhone SE2 a little bit behind. Let's get into some gameplay and see what happens. And I think they're going to be roughly around the same. I don't think there's going to be a ginormous difference between these two, to be completely honest. But that one was very, very close too. Let's do Real Racing 3, 3, 2, 1. Now this is a bigger game, so sometimes there is a humongous load time, but like I've seen before with the 12 Pro Max, it does actually a pretty decent job of getting into it fairly fast. And you'll probably end up seeing right now the 12 Pro Max is already loaded. The iPhone SE2 maybe gets stuck into like a loading panel of some sort, we don't know. Usually it's like around this time where we will see if it actually loads up or gets into the downloading panel. And you can see it actually loaded up, and that was a pretty big difference between those two. Usually I don't see that big of a difference with like a last generation chip, but that right there was a pretty big deal in my opinion. Let's do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And that's not to say the SE2 is a slow phone. I think for literally 99% of people out there, you're going to be perfectly fine. Actually, you'll think the SE2 is more than fast enough, to be honest. You can see these smaller apps, that's where you see slower differences or lower differences. You're seeing basically the iPhone 12 Pro Max is able to be just slightly faster than the SE2. Getting into some gameplay, this is a very basic game. I don't think we're going to see any differences for the most part. And you can see, yeah, roughly about the same on both. Not a ginormous difference by any means. Let's do Bofa. We don't have it. Let's do Dropbox. We don't have it. Let's do Quizlet. 3, 2, 1. 12 Pro Max faster. But SE2 a little bit behind. Netflix 3, 2, 1. And the 12 Pro Max again was the faster one. Snake versus Blocks. 3, 2, 1. And the 12 Pro Max is faster. iPhone SE2 a little bit behind. Getting into some gameplay. This is a very basic game. We're not really going to see any differences here. Stack. 3, 2, 1. And you can see the 12 Pro Max was actually way faster getting into it than the iPhone SE2. So let's end it off with thank you, 3, 2, 1. And definitely the iPhone 12 Pro Max was the faster one there for sure. So to kind of sum up this video and to answer the question, I can definitely tell you the iPhone 12 Pro Max is the faster one when it comes down to it every single time. RAM management should be theoretically twice as better than the SE2. But I think the SE2 did a really good job at kind of keeping it consistent in the background. Was it the best performing phone? Not at all, but it's still actually pretty decent for the price tag. And like I said before, when you're looking at both these phones for the price, it's a very compelling offer of what the SE2 is still able to do. I think the RAM management, though, speaks for itself. The SE2 is just not going to do so well when it comes down to the RAM management portion, but for really anything else you're going to do with it, the SE2 is going to be perfectly fine. As long as you're not trying to multitask out of a bunch of apps, I think the SE2 is still going to be good for a bunch of people, but the 12 Pro Max by far is the better one when it comes down to it. So